Controls design environment project validation. So typically, once you've got all your data entered in the system, in the CDE, you'll want to validate the project to make sure that there's no missing connections or misnamed items or things that don't follow the SME's rules that have been defined. So to do this, you can simply select the validate icon from the top toolbar. So it's a little document with a red check on it. And you can see in the tree model here that all the items currently have a red X on them. That just means that they haven't been validated yet. So when I select this, it'll go through and run a validation, and anything that's okay in the system, the red X will be removed from the items in the list. Anything that's still red checked still requires some sort of modification or fix to clear the validation. So the log at the bottom, there's 3 different types of messages in here: errors, warnings, and just base messages. So you can filter this. So if I select the messages here where it says 18 messages, I can click that and I'll turn those off so I don't see them. Same thing for warnings. And then now I just have a list of errors in here that would be requiring correction before the system will validate. What's nice about this is you can double click right on the particular error and it'll take you right to the point within CDE where you need to make the corrections. So this first one here says I have 2 I/O connectors that must be connected, and the target's in my AA100 station in the I/O. So if I double click this, it should take me right into the I/O tab for that configuration. And sure enough, I can see on my unconnected list I have a power connection for a manifold needs to be connected, and also a proc switch that would need to be connected to an input. So I can drag and drop those accordingly, and if I rerun that validation, that message should clear. The second spot where I've got an error is in my device net connectors. So again, I can double click this, it'll take me right to where the problem is. It says I've got 2 DNet connectors that need to be connected, so I can go ahead and do that, make those connections, and that should be good as well. So I'll go ahead and rerun the validation, and so now it just says my validation is complete with the warnings. One warning I have remaining is basically that a proc switch is not referenced in the sequence, and I'll talk about sequence entry in a later module. So that's all that's required for validation. I guess one more example here would be if I enter a new cell in the system, or a new station rather. Say new. If I give it a name, I'll just call it Jeff's cell or Jeff's station. I know that's not an appropriate name. If I go and do this validation, it should give me an error based on the name. So here it's saying the pattern does not match. So it's looking for a pattern AAXX1 for a station or AAXX1 TX1 for a turntable. So if I change that to I could do JB 200, it will like that. But now you can see there's some additional errors because I just added a base station and didn't really do any configuration in there. It's telling me that I need to have at least 1 HMI associated with it. I need to have at least a part present switch, and part on load destination before it'll allow this particular system to validate. So you can see as you add items and change things around, you'll want to rerun that validation to find those spots that you do need to touch up.